Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to the conference, and welcome to all of you who have just arrived. There are a few participants who haven't made it to our welcome dinner last night, so welcome to all of you on behalf of the Institute for Philosophy and Social Theory and the Faculty of Media and Communications. You have probably seen the organizational details and information in the conference packages, and we will talk about this more as we progress with today's work. But before I continue with any greater detail, I would like to pass the floor to Professor Petar Bojanic, and after him to Professor Nada Popović-Perišić to greet you and say a few words. Petar, please.
Good morning. Allow me to welcome you all on behalf of the Institute for Philosophy and Social Theory, University of Belgrade, and Center for Advanced Studies, Southeast Europe, University of Rijeka. At the beginning, I have to say that I am deeply grateful to the Dean of the Faculty for Media and Communication, Singidunum University, Nada Popović-Perišić, for whose cooperation in organizing this conference. Before I turn over the podium to Aleksandar Fatić, who is the be-all and end-all of this event, without whom none of this would be possible, and let him explain the importance of this encounter for Belgrade, Serbia, as well as for this whole region. I would like to wish you all fruitful work at the 13th International Conference on Philosophical Practice. I am sure that some of you are familiar with a casual comment made by Sigmund Freud, although Lou could not recall this detail when I brought it up last evening, explaining to a student of his why it is impossible to analyze a Slovenian person, or Slovenian. Psychoanalysis presents no problem for patients from Austria, Hungary, France, etc., and can be equally applied to Americans, Spaniards, etc., including work in various languages. However, according to Freud, based on his practice, there is a problem with Slovenians, and so all Slavs, that is, those who speak and think in Slavic, mother tongue. Allow me to impertinence to, in accordance with Freud's offhand remark, assume that people inhabiting this region mostly have serious existential crises, but not psychological ones, meaning they are potentially more suited to be clients, but not patients requiring a psychoanalyst or psychiatrist. The people of this region are filled with problems of decisiveness. They are conflicted, pathetic and aggressive, do not keep their promises. They reason poorly and justify their own and others' people's behavior even worse, all of which can be termed stupidity, which is much more complex than illness. They do not converse, do not listen to one another. Their acts are full of inconsistencies. They are incapable to joint work and institutional practice, all of which certainly makes them require precise philosophical therapy, individual or group counseling, etc., etc. In an interview done in French, Lou Marinov defined this new, or perhaps oldest of them all, if you prefer, role of the philosopher, one who advocates for a philosophy for all, or else none, and not only among philosophers. That is, his own role as a philosopher before a client in the following way. Moi, j'aurais pleinement joué mon rôle d'accompagnateur. As far as I'm concerned, I have played perfectly my role of tour guide. The philosopher is the authentic personal or group tour guide, and in so doing follows Socrates' mission. But paradoxically, not Plato's task, according to which the philosopher is the counsel or advisor to the statesman or tyrant, ruler, and not any group of citizens, and certainly not any individual. Or else the philosopher is himself transformed into a statement. Between these two, Socrates and Plato, always difficult to differentiate, I have chosen, and I dare to say, along with everybody else present here today, the former, to protect and defend philosophy through following and emulating Socrates. The Institute for Philosophy was founded by Yugoslav Praxis philosophers as a place where applied and practical philosophy was valued more than anywhere else in this European region. Socrates was shortly replaced with Plato when several of the philosophers from the Institute becoming politicians. One became president, another prime minister, an exceptional philosopher, assassinated both as prime minister and statesman. Several others became advisors to presidents and ministers. As the director of the Institute, I decided to create two working groups. One, study for a social engagement in French, and one for social ontology. My assumption is that this is an introduction into philosophical practice, of which this conference is an example, an introduction further to a program of doctoral studies soon to be initiated at this faculty, I hope, as well as an introduction into the founding of an association resembling those already extant in your countries. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Petar. I pass the floor to Professor Nada Popović-Perišić, Dean of this faculty.
My name is Nada Popović-Perišić. I am a Dean of Faculty of Media and Communication. I express my great pleasure that you are here today at faculty. I wish you a good work, nice day, and I suppose the important results. Welcome.
Thank you, Nada. We will now proceed with our program as planned. Prior to proceeding, I would just like to provide you with a few organizational information. This conference is perceived by the university, by the Institute and the University of Belgrade and the Faculty for Media and Communications as not just another in a sequence of conferences, but as an important event for the region, because we plan to develop and build on the results of this conference. Professor Popović-Perišić has plans to develop advanced academic programs in philosophical practice at this faculty, and the results and the fact that this conference has been held here, will have been held here, will be an important milestone on the road to achieving that. As you would have seen from the program, we do have a large international participation, but equally importantly for us, we have a very strong regional representation in this conference, and we hope that our future activities emanating from the results of this conference will draw in participants from the entire region, from Eastern Europe, and that Serbia will be able to become a hub for the development of philosophical practice in the region. The structure of the program, as you have seen, includes both the substantive delivery of presentations and a lot of the master classes and workshops, and in addition to that we will have a particular dimension of the conference which will be dedicated to actually providing philosophical consultations. So all of you, we already have seven philosophical practitioners who have volunteered their time to provide free philosophical consultations. All of you are invited to either volunteer as philosophical counselors or as clients in terms of role-playing. I would like to ask Dr. Oscar Brenifier, who is with us here, to join us at the desk and explain a little bit more about how this will work, this philosophical counseling. Oscar, please.
It's a very short explanation. The idea that very often in these conferences there are a lot of theoretical developments, but maybe sometimes practice is lacking, and a number of people actually don't know philosophical consultation, or they know but never had the chance to do it. So we thought that since a number of practitioners are here, it's a very good occasion, first for practitioners to test their work with different crowds, maybe they don't have in their country, propose it. Then they can as well propose it to people who actually do philosophical practice, right? So the idea that if people want to propose their activity as a philosophy practitioner, to do consultation, downstairs you give your name, say I'm willing to be to do consultation. And as well, if people want to be clients, and you can test different people because there are very different schools of functioning, if I can call it this way. You can try different philosophers if you want, and you have the time and the possibilities, right? But the idea is to maximize exchanges. Now, it's not forbidden to do both, to be both a philosopher and a client, if people want to try both, right? But the idea, you go downstairs, you organize, you give your name, you say what you want to do, and there are rooms that are prepared, different rooms, so at any moment, people can organize this. So feel free. Once you see your philosopher, you see when you have some time, some free time where you think you can go. And once you agree, just ask for a room and you go there. And we hope there will be many crisscrossing of consultation. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Thanks, Oscar. And I should like to thank Peter and Nada. And we now move to the next stage, which is the introductory lecture by Lou Marinoff. So if Vona and Lou could please take their seats. Vona will moderate this first session. Thanks.